Hey everybody, I thought there was going to be some music, some big announcement. No? This is informal. I'm supposed to be on stage, but that's a little bit, you're probably getting tired of that. My name is Kevin Peesker. I am the leader of small, medium, and corporate for Microsoft for 184 countries around the world. Thank you so much for being here at Ignite. I asked a few people in the room here how your experience has been, but maybe if you could show by a little clap if you enjoyed it. How has Ignite been for you? Is it okay? Woohoo! I love it. I love it. Absolutely outstanding. So team, Alex is going to join me. We have two of our amazing partners to join me as we talk about partner-to-partner engagements. Really want to make this and put this time as time for us to share. I'm sure you've gone through multiple sessions. I was hoping that we would do this particular session as a deep dive into the AI Foundry, and together we could code in DevOps. Unfortunately, we're actually going to talk about what's happening in our ecosystem, what we're doing from a Microsoft perspective to engage with you. And for those of you who've ever spent some time with me, I have a really short attention span. And I actually love videos because I think they bring them to life, bring things to life. So I'm going to kick off with a video. It's 3 minutes long. And we pulled it together because it encapsulates how we are working together around the world and the impact that we're making. We have team members in the room from Canada, from India, from Netherlands, from Germany, from the Middle East, and anybody from Latin America? From Latin America. Anyone from Asia? From Japan. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for coming. So fantastic. It's wonderful to have you here, but take a look at this video and then we'll get ourselves going.
Joy that working with Microsoft brings is we get to take advantage of people's authentic enthusiasm for what they're doing.
The ability that we have in working with Microsoft is that we can start with our smallest customers, that can be as small as 10 seats, all the way up to our enterprise customers, and still apply the same level of the services, the blueprints, and all the materials that Microsoft provide us to unlock the value of Microsoft technology for our customers.
When we first started to work with Microsoft around the potential of this program, it was mind-blowing because we're always striving to do the best. And so this idea really created an opportunity to think about things differently.
We see the enthusiasm and we really want to help them see the value that artificial intelligence is going to have in their productivity and in their future strategies.
Overall, AI, and specifically Azure OpenAI and Microsoft Copilot, is helping to free up time for employees across the organization to focus on more strategic, creative tasks.
At EastSoft, we are inspired by Microsoft's innovative approach and leadership in artificial intelligence. Partnering with Microsoft has helped us achieve our AI ambition.
And that says a lot. We built our business on the back of Microsoft serving customers worldwide. So what does it mean? It means that Microsoft has a solid foundation for you to build your business, not only from a technical perspective, but also access to customers and access to resources where you normally wouldn't if you do it by yourself.
Having Microsoft there, you already kind of like know that it's proven. That was actually pretty easy to do, having a trustworthy partner, trustworthy technology.
Copilot for us is such a great and big growth opportunity.
Crayon, as one of the key partners for Microsoft, we understand the value of Microsoft can bring it to the world. We work very closely with Microsoft to structure a deployment plan for Raja and Tan, and most importantly, commercially acceptable solution for Raja and Tan.
We chose Microsoft because Microsoft delivered AI solutions quickly and integrate them across their ecosystem. Their suite of AI tools and cloud services provides the flexibility and scalability we need. Their vision for responsible and ethical AI aligns well with our values.
Innovation is really important for Clojure as we want to differentiate and to bring much more value to our customer.
And as a leader in healthcare, it's really important that we are very careful and intentional about who we choose to lock arms with on this journey. And so it's important we're with a company like Microsoft who's helping lead the fray.
We
want to help our clients and work with them to help their people understand that they will not be replaced by AI, but someone that's using AI will definitely replace them.
I love it. Thank you. By the way, that is you. So think of it this way. If we have some customers in the room, you're going to hear about how we work together if you're a customer. Love it. Thank you for coming to the session. But this is directed towards you and the work that you do. Here's a few numbers for you just right off the top. First, I think we're all aware there is an extraordinary opportunity ahead of us. And I'm going to be a little pointed in some of my comments. Think about the growth within your firm. If you are not growing 20%, you are losing ground against just the market growth. What we're seeing in organizations who are embedding, adapting, being in alignment, they are growing multiples of 20%. 20% is the average of our market, of our industry. So the opportunity is significant. Here's how I think about this as a leader at Microsoft. I have the great, enormous pleasure and pressure of delivering over $70 billion with my team each year. This year, $70 billion. Next year, it'll be $80 billion, blah, blah, blah. We're on a path to 100. It's super fun. No pressure. Thank you very much. We do not do that with the Microsoft resources that I have responsibility for. If I total them up, it's about 8,000 individuals. That does not come anywhere close to what's required to service customers that literally number in the tens of thousands when it comes to corporate customers and in the tens of millions when it comes to SMB customers. We know that the ecosystem which you represent literally is over 1 million people that are connected to Microsoft and bringing Microsoft technologies into our customers. So let's talk about that for a little while. It was with great clarity from a strategy perspective that we aligned my team on this is our sort of sense of purpose. And as you read underneath that, as we're building a digitally hyperscaled organization, that it is deeply aligned with our partners. Last year, with my leadership team, we determined that it was a time to double down with our partners. And this year, it wasn't, well, let's do that again. It literally was a time to triple down. And for those of you who may have attended Nicole's session, and my boss, Judson Althoff, who runs the entirety of the commercial business for Microsoft, there were strong messages there around how we are thinking of going to market and the way in which we will utilize our cloud solution provider program to do that with you. Not as a transaction, but as an enabler to fundamentally shifting the outcomes that we drive with our customers. So here's one last insight on this particular slide. It is the following. Maximizing digital outcomes. I'm going to share with you what we're actually doing internally in Microsoft. And I had the pleasure of meeting with some of you to hear what you're doing to embed AI, to embed co-pilots, to look at your data in a differentiated way, to utilize agents in their earliest of forms. For each of you, as you go back, and you're the messiahs going back to your organization in whichever part of the world you reside, take the message that being a first-party utilizer of technology allows you to be your very best when you are working with your customers. This concept of accelerating growth with partners is really, really critical to us, but I want to link it into what we've tagged, and for those who are in Singapore, those who are with us in Dallas, what we've tagged as this concept of customers at the center, partners always, and people at the core. So customers first, partner always, people at the core. And when it comes to customers, over the last year, I have traveled to 6 continents. So wherever you're from in the world, I've been on your continent because we don't have any penguins ready in the room. I have had the opportunity of engaging with well over 10,000 customers, 4,000 of whom have been C-level, CEOs, CXOs, and CFOs. And here's this tagline that I kind of formulated in my brain from having the discussion with those individuals at the C-level. It is that those leaders who get it, frankly, the CEO of a firm is starting to act a bit like a CIO. And the CIOs who get it are starting to act a bit like the CEO. Because if we think about where we were, this aspect of traditional IT being in the basement of an organization, a cost center, certainly some of your customers are still acting like that. But very quickly, that role of the C-suite, the board of directors, with the general knowledge of adaptive generative AI, it's a forcing mechanism for them to think about, what's my strategy? How am I going to enable that strategy? And where does technology play a role? So we have a big job to do within Microsoft for our frontline sellers who partner with you. It is to spend inordinate cycles on listen and consult, on inspire and design, because our job is to align on the delivery and impact of value. And we think about this is the rooms of the corporation. You've heard about it, the rooms of the house. It's a quick snap of how do we think about those individuals in the knowledge worker space across the functional areas. Copilot for Power Apps, you heard here, that really is Copilot in the sense of how we're bringing it to market with our applications. Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio connecting to agents in the agentic world. Who's going to do this? It's us together. And as we go to other aspects from a security perspective, security by design, embedded, the data engineer, and how Fabric in this space, our customer space of small, medium, and corporate, it is an incredibly fast-growing product line for us. We represent a good chunk of Microsoft's global Fabric business because it's the way of bringing those data alignments together. And if we go to, well, what are some of those core things that I would talk to every customer about? It really is, if a small business has one dev, or it's a medium-sized business, I was having dinner with just this week that has 500 devs out of their 1,200 employees, then Copilot for our GitHub practice, Copilot for devs, is a fundamental unlock of productivity, 40% plus improvement in productivity. So as you're thinking about your firms, where do you play? What is it that you are specifically building capabilities on? And how are you aligning to the company's desire from the C-suite who are driving functional shifts in the organization, who are looking across each of the personas within their company? We see this across small organizations to large, across practically every industry, that $661 billion of TAM, the reason it's that large is because of the unlock you all have from some of the knowledge you've gained this week. And as we look at that, we've been deliberate at Microsoft. So here's some stats. We call it drinking our own champagne. In the software world, it's called eating dog food. I like drinking our own champagne. We went and we literally said, and you might have heard from Judson, that we are not adding incremental salespeople because we are driving productivity and engagement with AI. Our service and support organization serves over 1 billion customers around the world. Big organization. First place we went was utilization of Copilot. We built out our service practice on Dynamics. We had our engineering team sitting with Microsoft specialists. End result, we literally, in the first year, have seen $100 million of savings. We are on track for $450 million of savings in the second year. That is return on investment. But that's not as important as the really critical metric, which is we are seeing an increase in customer satisfaction. So as you're engaging with your customers, what is the financial return and what is that engagement from a customer satisfaction return? What's that result from an employee satisfaction return? We also, of course, in my org, we were ground zero for implementation of Sales Copilot and copilots across the organization. We were the first team to get it, my team. And in that regard, we also saw incredible differential. We are doing A/B testing. We are looking at the stats and the quantification. Those individuals in my team who are who have adopted, who are on a daily active usage basis, outperforming their peers. 10% more pipeline. Who wouldn't want that? 40% more closed deals. Closed deals converts to revenue, converts to aligned success with you because all of those deals are closed with you as our partners. And an increase in deal size, an expansion of the wallet. This is Gen 1, everybody. So as you think about what you're doing with your team, how you're deploying technology, how you're utilizing it, and thinking about it moving forward, critical that there is a ground zero approach in your partnership. I'm seeing the benefits at scale. And then from a customer perspective, I love sharing, we had a couple in the video, sharing examples of what you are doing with us together. And in this regard, we've got a few examples here. Number one, on the left side from South Africa, in the education space, a space that is always cost constrained, utilizing Azure, utilizing Copilot, pulling their data together, lifting the level of service tickets so that they can spend time teaching, not in admin. Reduction in resolution times, expansion of reduction in escalations. And then, I love this one, 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗶cie 𝗜𝗍𝗂, and I apologize for my Portuguese, down in Brazil. Who doesn't like barbecue? Well, in Brazil, they have delicious, delicious food in that country. 100 restaurants, 2,000 employees, data spread across their organization, and our partner here, Qualserve and SND, pulled it together, put it in Azure, reasoned over that data, applied Copilot to it, significant benefits in cost savings through the process, but also in engagement with their employees, engagement in product development, understanding where their business is being successful. And the last one you saw in the video, Raja and Tan, there is in every country that I go to a shift in the way that lawyers work. There is a shift in the way accountancy firms are managing audits, in the way in which they're engaging. There's a shift in the way in which advisory firms work. So if you're dealing with any of those sectors and you're not talking to your customer about the application of AI and the integration of that with the way in which they're working, somebody else is, because it's happening. When we pull it together, there is this kind of sense of scale of AI transformation, and it's occurring across each function. So I asked the team, what are we seeing around the world? What does it look like? What are the dialogues that our partners, that our team is having with customers? And I encourage you, this is not about a transactional sale. The thing, if you really listen to what Satya delivered, it is all about business value. It is all about outcomes, either operationally efficient outcomes, customer engagement outcomes, staff satisfaction outcomes. That's what we deliver. So in that regard, it is so clear to me as I meet with customers at scale that they need you. Feel good. They need you. It is so clear from my perspective at scale that we at Microsoft, we need you. So I'm going to ask Alex to come up. Alex is an incredible colleague of mine, and he's going to take you through how we're looking to align together deeper for success. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Kevin. Hi, everyone. So I have a tough mission, and so brace yourself. You know, I have 10, 12 minutes to do a crash course on SMC. Not SMC opportunity, but essentially who are our customers, how do we go to market, what do we sell, you know, and some call to action to you. It's a tough exercise because I was checking a bit in the room, you know, and you guys have different, you know, paths, business models. You have a different level of relationship with Microsoft. Some of you are brand new to the Microsoft world. Some of you are just part of the program, but with no deep relationships. Some of you have been actually with deep relationship, with really in-depth plans, you know, that we are building across the world. So I'm trying to level set today. And I will start with our customers. There we go. So quickly, the ecosystem, 150 million customers roughly, the SMC, that's what Kevin is responsible for. This is where actually 70 billion are coming from. My job is to help him, you know, define the go-to-market with you. Our partners are vital for that. We have two segments under SMC. We have what we call the corporate segment. So think about the top 12, 15,000 customers that we have at Microsoft. This is the enterprise space. That's not Kevin. That's not us. That's not what we call SMC. SMC are all the other customers, you know, except the consumer ones. We segment them into two parts, corporate and SMB. Corporate segment, think about a company with 1,000+ employees, you know, $1 billion turnover. And those are enterprise class customers, you know, and we have a sales team, and I will explain you how we cover them on that one. This is a very large addressable market. Today, if I look at the cloud opportunity we have in penetration, we probably, us at Microsoft, penetrated 6 to 7% max of the total cloud opportunity we have within the corporate space. So it's a fantastic segment for us. We have a managed relationship with scale with our partners, with those customers. SMB space, you could substantiate with upper mid-market, mid-market, small business, and we look at that, but that's actually a monster monolith, you know, of 150 million customers. In the upper medium space, you have 500,000 customers, roughly, that are 300 employee plus. The 25 to 300, you know, in our customer base, it's 6 to 8 million customers, and all the rest is in the small business space. So that's the customer landscape we are dealing with. The addressable market in the SMB segment is the largest one. This is our fastest growing segment. It's a very complicated one to address, and that's why we are going in trenching much, much better that segment, and we are very, very data-driven as we align our go-to-market. So let's talk a bit about that. First of all, you've seen that slide. Those are our 5 sales priorities. That's at Judson level. This is what we call MCAPs, the commercial team. We share that. Whether you go into SMB, corporate, enterprise, we have those 5 ones. The way we go after, and so, as a reminder, you know, the 2 on the left are really our growth machines and engine. We lead with AI. The one that deliver the revenue for us are really the 3 on the right, and they are fundamental and necessary in order to enable the 2 on the left. That's how you think about those priorities. Now, how do we translate that into our execution? We lead with AI. We have solution areas, and here, what you will see is the description and the build of all our 5 solution areas that are modern work, business application, security, Azure infrastructure, data and AI, and apps modernization. And so we create a set of sales plays that are aligned to what we believe our customers are most interested in terms of conversation and solution. We call that a solution play. And then based on the segment you belong and the level of maturity you have, we pick a set of sales play. What you will see next to the modern work one, if I take secure productivity, you will see 2 bars, a green one and a blue one. The green one is where I execute in the corporate segment. The blue one is where I execute in the SMB space. You can imagine that as you go through the pyramid we get more sophisticated and we are landing more plays, you know. So here you have essentially the summary for modern work business applications. If you look now at security, we have one play that's threat protection, and then you have Azure as a platform that we split in 3 parts. Azure infrastructure, it's all about migration, frankly, for SMC, to be honest with you. This is the priority one, and inclusive of SAP. You have data and AI. One of our primary play here is for sure DB migration, but analytics and Fabric is a fantastic opportunity, has been really purpose-built, you know, for SMC if you think about it. And then you have app innovation where we build and modernize apps. So what you see here is essentially all the sales scenarios that we are executing with you in our respective market in SMC corporate or in SMB. So we spoke quickly about our customer landscape. We move to actually what we sell. Now let's talk a bit about how do we go to market together and what are our key go-to-market components. So let's start with corporate. As a reminder, corporate, 22,000 customers. Everywhere we go, whatever we do in SMC, we are data-driven. And so what we try to do is to build real deep propensity model, which, by the way, we use at the start to segment our customers and to understand how do we want to cover them, which are the customers that we want to put in corporate, which are the ones we want to put in SMB, and why. We look at the past, we look at today, and we look at sophisticated models, you know, to calculate propensity with our customers, and this is how we make our decision. We are very proud as well to have wired marketing with sales in SMC. That was one of the pieces of work we did, and we started to do 5 years ago, which is every single marketing interaction from our customers is really recorded and wired and visible to our sales team. That gives them an opportunity to scale, to find new contacts, to understand, and to prioritize their engagement. We are not an enterprise segment, so even though in the corporate space, we have a sales team, and we align against sales pods. So our 22,000 customers are covered by 100 pods, if you will. A pod is a group of 30 people that are all together concentrating on covering 200 customers, approximately. Why is it important for you is that as you engage with the Microsoft sales team, if your play is in the corporate space, you target a particular geo, you ask yourself, okay, what are the pods? What is their construct, and how do I align to them? Singapore will be one pod by itself. In the US, you will have 20 pods that will be split by West, East, Central, and with some major, minor by industry, you know, as an example. So that's important for you to understand when you engage with the Microsoft team. Hey, how many pods, which are the one, and within a pod, you have account executives, specialists, technical specialists for their respective solution area. That's how we cover. Each of them, we help them prioritize their engagement. An account executive has 50 customers. A solution specialist has 100 customers to cover. A technical specialist has 200 customers. And that's the top end of SMC. So that's just a demonstration on why partners are so vital to us. There's no way we do it ourselves. It's not only a question of, hey, we sell it all, you implement. No, even actually in selling, we need to get together in doing joint planning and execution. You do that, I do that. Those ones, we go together on that one. You need my help, you call me. I need your help, I call you. And that's essentially how we do good division of labor together. That's how actually we go to market in the corporate space. And the way we do this is because engaging, prospecting, identifying new customers and opportunity as a cost, we found a set of programs and pre-sales and post-sales activities to essentially reduce the cost of sale for you and make actually this business at the end of the day more profitable for you. All of that infused by digital tools, platform, sales centers, and more AI. You can imagine, and that's a good segue for SMB, you can imagine that there's no way we will be able to put a human being in front of every single of the SMB customer we want. And you can imagine that we are doing a lot of work right now with actually AI-infused and led, you know, agents, because my dream is to be actually to send those agents actually after 50 million, you know, SMBs to generate initial interest, consideration, pipeline, and where actually the lead will be directly handed off to you. you know, and because the dream I dream of, the deal I dream of is the one I don't touch. You know, that's the word of SMC, guys. You know, so that's it. So those are the SMB components. Global sales, we have some global sales engines. We have a vendor digital machine that is prospecting on account. We are all data-driven. We focus on signals, and we prospect on those signals in the upper SMB segment, and then we pass those leads to you, everything as soon as we qualify them. In the medium and small business, it's a pure partner-led play. We provide content, we fund programs, but you guys are completely frontline on those. That's the SMB world. Now, talking and summarizing a bit, you understand partnerships are vital for us, and so we concentrate all our efforts, all our investment in our mutual success, in fueling programs that matter for you, pre-sales, post-sales, in fueling partner incentives. Of the total partner incentive investments that we are making worldwide, 70% are essentially to enable SMC business. We do, so in the managed space, we do, and this is, and I will have some call to action for you at the end, but we do joint planning and execution together. So in the corporate space, we do account planning sessions with actually a set of select partners. And we essentially do proper division of labor on that. As you go down into the SMB space, we essentially enable you with propensity data, lead sharing, and program funding. That's what we do. So, because you are not at all the same level of the organization, let me take 3 scenarios. If you're new to Microsoft World and you want actually to drive more, sign up for the Microsoft program, the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program. We've been putting some links. You will have access to those slides, so you can just click on those links. It's all about signing up for the program, developing skills and capabilities. The way we engage with our partners is first based on actually our strategic alignment, you know, your commitment to our technologies, and actually the capabilities that you have. The number 2 is actually leveraging the resources you have. If you want to play in the corporate space, if you are playing in the corporate space, and you want to actually engage with us, the prerequisite will be actually for you to sign up for the program, to get the designation and specializations that are demonstrated, actually proven capabilities, you know, in the technologies, align to the solution play, you know, and tell us where we play, and please engage with us. We need your partnership. This is vital for our business. That was a very, very, very crash course, you know, or a summary on SMC business. Please reach out for any question, and I'm so looking forward, you know, continuing our partnership. Thank you very much for your time. And Kevin, now please take away.
I love it. Hear it for Alex. Well done, Alex. All right, tremendous. Thanks, Alex. Alex went through some of the nuance and the details. Happy to dive in with you further. We talked about this, I shared this. It's clear customers need partners. We need partners. We've directed 70% of our global incentives, over $1 billion of movement of dollars into the SMC space. And at the end of that, we know that partners need partners. So with no further ado, please welcome to the stage Regina and Dux. Come on up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Welcome to you both. And why don't we do a quick introduction? That would be awesome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Regina Manfredi. I am the Executive Vice President and General Manager for Crayon in the United States.
Hey, everybody. My name is 𝗬𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗀. I serve as the Chief Brand Officer of AvePoint and based here in Washington, D.C. Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you're on stage because I know you're doing tremendous work with partners. Before we get there, what does AI transformation mean to both of you?
Oh, gosh. AI transformation for me means opportunity and adaptability. One of the things that I think has been most exciting for us is we've uncovered a number of opportunities as it relates to productivity internally, cost management internally, for our customers as well. but it's also beginning to evolve into how adaptable we can be and how curious we are. And that's one of the things that we're working on as it relates to how we approach our customers and our customer experience around AI. How about you?
Well, for me, AI transformation means driving innovation, efficiency, and business growth, which certainly will help every organization in the world. But one thing we also know that for AI to be successful, data has to be in a great place, because data is the lifeblood of AI. So at AvePoint, we help partners and customers make sure that their data is secured, well-governed, and resilient. So it's a win-win for everybody, and we can fully maximize the transformation benefits of AI.
Fantastic. And I met Dux in Singapore back a couple of months ago, and he went through what AvePoint does, and I went, oh, I got to buy that stock. Check out the ticker at some stage. You should have been there back then. But it's still got trajectory, I'm sure. Hey, Regina, the idea of what Crayon does, you truly scale through others. Could you just share a little bit about that as you drive transformation?
Sure, we help our partners scale as it relates to how they're going to market and as it relates to CSP business specifically, and driving that cloud-first motion, that migration, that optimization, and then the innovation for our customers, our joint customers. It comes down to trust. It has to start there first, and how we build that triangular motion between Microsoft, our partners, Crayon, for the customer to deliver the outcomes that they desire. And we can't do it without each other. And one of the things that we're really focused on is building a more mature ecosystem where we're leveraging each other's strengths, because it takes, on average, 7 of us at the table with the customer to execute these outcomes and solutions. We can't be all things to all people. Crayon recognizes that and acknowledges that, and we think it's important to build a more mature ecosystem so that we can actually get really focused on what the customer wants and get the ROI on the AI initiatives that they have with Copilot, et cetera.
I love that. That's so partners, as you think about what Regina just said, I was with customers this week, 2 sessions. One, we had 500 customers with a Satya Nadella fireside chat, and a second, a dinner with a bunch of customers. And what I kept hearing from customers is, it's pretty rare that one partner can satisfy all of my requirements. And as I'm thinking about delivering outcomes, I actually am looking for partners to collaborate together. So thank you for that. ISVs, industry solution vendors, incredibly important for our ecosystem. Dux, what's your comment on that? What are you seeing?
I mean, first of all, we've seen a lot of stats about the total addressable market, but let's zero in just the channel ecosystem. So Canalys came out with this report that in 2028, which is a couple years from now, there's going to be $158 billion worth of AI business for us partners. And like Regina says, you can't do it alone. The pie is so big. So at AvePoint, what we do is our technology, our solutions around data security, governance, and resilience, especially in the age of AI, are being leveraged by a lot of our partners to introduce new monetization opportunities. So I know a lot of our partners, for example, helped our customers go to the cloud, migration, tons of opportunities. But the next frontier is helping them maximize AI. So for example, how many of you here are helping your customers just doing Copilot readiness assessment? Anybody? A lot of us. In fact, Microsoft is providing incentives for that if you're signed up with Fast Track. So speaking of P2P, we have a great partnership with Crayon around the world that taking our technology, they're doing readiness assessment, making sure that customers' data estate, first of all, the quality is good. Because we all know customers have redundant, obsolete, trivial data. The last thing you want is Copilot to pull up that TPS report from 45 years ago. You can tell how old everybody is. That's one. That's part of readiness. But the second thing is, we want to make sure that only the right people have the right access to the right information. We need to ensure data security is in a good place. We know your customers are really good with permissions. They don't overshare. They don't add anybody to teams, right? They don't do that, no? Sure. But we have technology to make sure that based on business rules and policy, social security number can only be seen by HR. Customer information cannot be shared externally. So a lot of our partners take that technology, package it up as a part of their service. So our technology can help you with the initial transactional services opportunity. Let me do an assessment. But then we have a lot of partners are becoming managed services providers now, offering data protection services month in, month out. Oh, I'll charge you additional $3 or $5 per user. We'll make sure data is protected, data is governed, and data is secured. Because look, you have to think about data security, not just about protecting the data. You have to think about where does the data live? The container, Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. Who has access to the data? So when you think about data security, it's not just about, oh, my data's backed up, I'm good. You got to think beyond traditional data security. Really thinking about how is data governed, how is data secured, and how can data be resilient. So I know that was a long answer to your question, but tons of opportunities.
I love the depth. I love the depth. Maybe, Regina, for you, going back to partners partnering with partners, you've been in this industry and you've witnessed a lot. What's your perspective on that and any comments you have for the teams here?
Well, I think it's really important that we first focus on what we each do best and be transparent with one another about that. And so one of the things that I thought was really interesting in listening to Dux, in my head I'm sitting here screaming, but how can we as a partner ecosystem monetize that? And how can we build MPOs and stand them up in the marketplace and make sure that our customers can find us when they're looking for us? And when they're looking for those point solutions, how are we coming together in this room or outside the door to make sure that we're building those outcomes and solutions based on the industry verticals we have with the customers that we already have and know well, and working together as a unified front instead of competing. And I think that's a big shift that had some really interesting conversations this week, especially with some of the solutions integrators, and it's like, hey, look, there is plenty. Did you see that, Tam? Yeah. 661 million, I believe? Billion, excuse me. There is plenty to go around for all of us. And so if we can each get focused and align and get organized in what each of our superpowers are and build and look and seek those partnerships that fill in the gaps where we can't meet the customer expectation or need, we will be successful. And so I think harnessing and leveraging each other here and then beyond Ignite is going to be really important, and how we connect and make sure that we're not competing anymore, and that we understand the value of the CSP transaction, how it builds trust with the customer, who's going to be in what swim lane, and how will we deliver and execute is super important. And then how will we begin to transact it and build it up through the marketplace?
Love it. I love it. I made the comment up front, customers at the center, partners always, and then it's about people. So 30-second answer. As you think as a leader about how you're driving transformation with your team members to share with others, what's top of mind for you in that?
Top of mind for me is empathy, because while this is all exciting, this is all new, we also have to realize the pace of change is not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So my advice is to have empathy to your own people, to your customer, and meet them where they are.
Very good. Regina?
Mine's adaptability. I've said it before, and I think our team at Crayon is tired of hearing me say it, but your adaptability quotient in this AI era is more important than your EQ and your IQ. How adaptable can you be to the technology that's evolving at such a rapid pace? Not become overwhelmed by it, but rely on one another with empathy. But adaptability, I think, is really critical, because a lot of people are really trying hard to figure it out, and it's not easy. So sometimes you need some friends to help you along the way.
I love that. My team, as we close out here, it's about taking action, not being a bystander, not doing one of these, oh, it's somebody else is going to manage it. Everybody that's in this room, you've made a personal investment in your time to travel from around the world. You have invested in your own learning. You have messages to take back to your teams. Do that responsibly, do that with energy, and above all, ensure that you think about and set goals for yourself around what is the action that you'll take. Because when we do that, we know that together the opportunity is ours to take. I deeply thank you on behalf of my team, as an executive at Microsoft, on behalf of all of Microsoft, thank you both for taking time to join me on stage, and thank you to each one of you for what you do each and every day to ensure that we empower all customers, small to large, in their aspirations to do more. Thank you very much. If you have any feedback, how did we do? Really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of Ignite. It's been an honor being with you. Thank you so much.